And now time for some World War LL news. Germany has declared war on France. After weeks of fighting, the German army has finally crossed the Maginot Line and pushed the French back to Paris. Things aren't looking good for the Allies. They desperately need some outside help, but who will come to their rescue? Will it be the British? No, not the British. It will be the Americans. But they won't be coming to fight. They're only coming to see what's going on. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, the Japanese have landed in the Dutch East Indies, and things are not going well for the defenders. The Allies are getting their butts kicked all over the place. The Japanese are just too strong. They've taken Singapore, and now they're heading towards Australia. Are the Australians strong enough to stop them? Well, they're gonna try. But we all know the Aussies are doomed. In other news, the Russians are still fighting the Germans, and the Finns are still fighting the Russians. And everyone is wondering what the Italians are up to. Well, today, they did something pretty stupid. They attacked Egypt, and they weren't even trying to hide it. Like they just walked right into the Mediterranean and started marching inland. What were they thinking? Well, they didn't really think at all because they're all a bunch of stupid mutts. In other stupid moves, the Japanese have decided to attack Pearl Harbor again. This is probably because they didn't get much air support during their last attack. So they thought if they tried again, they could get more planes this time. But surprise! Surprise! The Americans were prepared for them and shot down most of their planes. The Japanese must be feeling pretty humiliated right about now. In an effort to save face, the Japanese military government has launched a massive propaganda campaign. They're calling it the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere. Basically, they're retelling everyone that they're not trying to harm the Chinese or the Dutch or anyone else. They're just trying to help them. Yeah, that sounds legit. Sure. If you say so, Japan. Everyone else is convinced that the Japanese are just trying to build a better world for everyone. Because that's exactly what invading countries and committing atrocities is all about. Anyway, the Japanese have released a list of demands for the Chinese. They're asking for more land and more resources, as well as the right to put troops on Chinese soil. The Chinese have obviously rejected these demands, which means war will continue, unless the Japanese are planning to invade China, which they totally are. Speaking of invasions, the Germans have launched one in Belgium. They're hoping to take the city of Antwerp, which would cut off an important supply line for the British. Can the British stop them? Probably not. In fact, they've already lost Antwerp. Things are not looking good for the Allies. Maybe if they could just hold on until the Americans arrive, but the Americans aren't coming to fight. They're only coming to see what's going on. And now we interrupt your regularly scheduled